Alright, here's the Rogue Lineage testosterone tier list. So to begin, we have Ashen. That's definitely a high testosterone because, Ashen, you spawn in, you already know how to throw hands with people and shit. Like I've really seen freshy Ashens kill ultras, right? And then adding on to that, bro, you spawn in with Merc carry, so you can carry away your comrades to safety, which is extremely high testosterone. Or, you can carry enemies with you, like to get a kill, and that's also really high testosterone because like it just shows that like you're gonna go through anything to get that kill. So next is Castellan. I think Castellan is low testosterone because I mean it's just a mage race. You really get no strength buffs. There's no really risk to the race, so I would just say it's pretty like average to be honest. You want let me add a row. Let me add a row. All right, we're gonna make a average test. So I think Castellan is pretty average test because like there's not really a risk. It's not extremely broken though, um, and like unskilled. So I'd say it's pretty average testosterone. Next is Cameo. I would say Cameo is most definitely low testosterone because I mean you have 9 lives. There's no risk, and you can just like combat log at any time that you really want to, bro. And like there's really no risk to that. Like you just lose 3 lives and you can just get them back really easily. Um, And then next is Construct. I think Construct has pretty low testosterone because it's like you constantly have to be like chugging those little like potions. Like I already know that there's soy and shit in that, bro. Like there's got to be some sort of seed oils and like soy in those like potions and shit, bro. That are like definitely just low testosterone. Like constructs really have pretty low testosterone. So next is Dinakari. I say Dinakari is pretty high testosterone because like you gain more strength, but like there's risk to it because it's like you can't cast certain spells when you pop a rune, if you're not a mage. And there's also like you have to kill people to get them. So like that really incentivizes like high testosterone behavior, and like it really just I feel like it shines the brightest with high testosterone men. So next is Dullahan. I think Dullahan. What do I think about Dullahan? I'd say it's pretty low testosterone, to be honest, because I mean, pumpkin roll is kind of broken, and like you can also just kind of like throw your head, and like you're doing that shit from like afar, you know what I mean? So it's like there's really no risk. So I'd say like Dolahan's just probably pretty low testosterone. So next is the Zin. I'd just say the Zin is high testosterone, because like they're really dodging attacks and shit, and like they're just that like powerful, like they have a whole like third eye, bro. They can really just dodge attacks. So I think that's high testosterone, and they have Rhodes Pulse, so they can always see where people are at, so they can protect their comrades and like let them know, if there's like someone evil. I think it's definitely like alpha, like just pack leader vibes. You know what I mean? So next we got Fisherin. I think Fisherin, it's obviously low testosterone. You know, Fisherin is perfect for the low testosterone male because it's really like unlike the Zin where like they're actually dodging the attacks. Fisherin still gets hit by the attacks. They just go right through you. So it's just kind of like a crutch. There's like no skill involved. It's just really broken. Like you don't have to like time a button that has like a really long cooldown or anything, bro. It's just, I mean, you just get hit and it goes right through you. It's like you didn't even dodge the hit, you know what I mean? So I'd say it's pretty low testosterone. Florian, I don't really fucking know anything about that shit, so we're just gonna go on to Gaian. I'd say Gaian is definitely high testosterone. Alright, Gaian is high testosterone because you're strong, alright, you're powerful, and it just like has the most health, it just does a lot of damage, like it just like just the embodiment of it just does damage, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a strong, like hardy race. So it's definitely, high testosterone and shit. Um, all right, next we got Azael. So Azael, I would put in pretty high testosterone because Azael, you spawn in with 2 lives, so you're always, it's always playing on a risk. There's always a risk involved, and you're risk taking. You might even be 1 life. Like if you die once, you're 1 life. And like high risk behavior is high testosterone behavior. So it's definitely high testosterone. All right, next is Hazelden. Hazelden is the highest testosterone race on this entire list, bro. Hazelden is insane. All right, Hazelden, you seriously like you're about to die, and then you get a power up. And, like that's just pure testosterone right there, like to protect your comrades, bro, and to kill your enemies. All right, and then even if you get knocked down, you get back up with indomitable will. All right, and you still just beat the shit out of them. So Hazelden is high testosterone. So Caspian, I would say, is pretty average testosterone because there's also just no really like real risk involved in Caspian. But I would say it's pretty like strong, like you have resistances and also like you can go vampire with pretty low downsides is what's making it average test instead of high test because it does make it so you have no downsides going vampire. Where usually vampire is a high testosterone subclass because like there's downsides, there's risks to it. Well, I guess it's not a subclass, but like it's a high testosterone activity. All right. Next is Navarin. I say Navarin is definitely low testosterone because like as a Navarin, you're just copying other people's swag, bro. You're copying their style, and you're just kind of like a fucking bitch, to be honest, bro. Like honestly, if you're a Navarin, you're just a bitch. Like that sucks, bro. Madrasian is also low testosterone. Like as a Madrasian, bro, you're literally a fraud. Like you're either pretending to be someone else, which is very low testosterone behavior, or you are hiding from the enemy, becoming like a very small like trinket or like a ring, which is also just super low testosterone behavior. And I mean, if you're just hiding from the enemy, I'd say that's super low testosterone. So next is Metal Screw. I'd say Metal Screw is also pretty low testosterone to be honest, because like unlike Gaian, where like Gaian is somewhat like compared to Metal Screw, Gaian is a little more balanced, I would say, because as Metal Screw, you do like more damage to them with exhaust. You put burn marks on them, which is pretty low testosterone, but like you need to rely on that, and it lets you like take a ton of attacks and shit where you're decomposed. When like Gaian, you can't really do that. It's like you're just hiding in the floor, bro. Like that's pretty low testosterone. And I would say Morvid is low testosterone as well. So I mean like, well, as Morvid, you do have to eat some of your. Nah, that shit's still low testosterone. Fuck you. Fuck all Morvids, man. Bro, if you're a Morvid, you're a bitch. Like, that's really all I have to say, bro. It's just low testosterone. I mean, you get iframes. That's just pretty low testosterone, man. You can just use it whenever. Riggin, I would put Riggin also on low testosterone. Because if I were like thinking like a Riggin, you're just running away. So I'd say that's pretty low testosterone. Like, he was really fast. I've never fought a Riggin who's like chased me, bro. It's always just a Riggin who's running away. A dirty little Riggin. Alright, so regular Scroom is definitely high testosterone right there. Alright, regular Scroom is extremely risky to play as it has not many, like upsides and it has a lot of downsides. So I'd say Scroom is pretty high testosterone. Because, like that shit is really just, like, it doesn't have as much buffs as everyone else. And so you're playing, like it's more risky. And then Vind, I would put Vind in average testosterone just because it's like, it's not as gay as Fisherin, like low testosterone as Fisherin, because like you have to time your shit, but it's also not high testosterone because it's like you're repelling it back onto your enemy, you know what I mean? And like when you do that, when you have like Tempest Soul active, it's really just like low testosterone because like there's no risk to like playing and shit. Like you don't have to mana shield or do anything at all. So that's my testosterone races list. Like let me know in the comments if y'all disagree with me on any of these. But yeah, it's my ranking.